So it's trying to find out, trying to find myself and what it was that I had lost. I just had to get back to the basics, basics about what life was all about. You like the fancy cars, you like the women, the attention, so on and so forth. But that stuff can be smothering from success. Like I thought I was doing my best, but I wasn't doing my best. Like if I'm really honest with myself and introspective, I know there are moments in last year that I could have given more. I could have shown up more for myself, and I didn't. So hence, the haircut to me is representative of we're cutting off all distractions, we're cutting off all the extra stuff, all the fancy stuff. We're cutting off the aesthetic, we're cutting off just anything that can be detracting from who we actually want to be and the level of execution that we're trying to hit. And that was applicable to the business itself as well, because you know we are someone who is pushing on social media, is doing this and that, and not conflating those things, those vanity metrics, the numbers that just look good on paper versus actually driving and converting leads to sales, actually having daily actionables that move the ball forward and move us closer to our goals. Um, the way that I'm showing up in my training, just making sure that again I'm hitting those marks and not compromising. Because there are many moments when I compromise. Not say for example, there's a situation where the business or the studies or anything else was not necessarily being detracted from by the party lifestyle, the going out, the women, all that stuff. But there were moments in which I knew that okay, if I go out, then I'm not going to be able to train that well on Monday. That this leg session is not going to be everything that it can be. There were days when the day after I went out, I actually hit PRs and I got stronger and this and that. Um, and it's something where man, it's like, man, how much better could I have been if I had stayed the path, you know? And I think I deserve to know what it's like not to flake on myself. I deserve to know what it's like not to not to give up on myself in those moments, not to fail in those moments and stray away from the game plan. Again, if it's your life and the way that you're choosing to live, if living like that is a part of the way that you see yourself pushing through this life thing, then Godspeed, all the best to you. But for me, I think I deserve to know what it's like for at least 1 year to just devote myself fully to my craft, to the development of myself, and to the vision, to the dream, and seeing how far we can actually push this thing, how rapidly we can actually make progress, and how much we can learn and grow if there were no external distractions. So it's eliminating all external distractions, chopping wood, carrying water. Success is not meant for those who were born a certain way or in certain places. It's meant for those who consistently and persistently pursue their dreams. So I've found that I tend to be a product of my environment, and really changing and manipulating myself internally in order to further and better control that environment is the goal. Like this for me, every time I recut my hair, every time I do that, I'm reaffirming to myself the promise. It's reminding myself that, okay, I do tend to be a product of my environment. Stay away from certain things, stay away from a certain kind of people, stay away from a certain part of yourself, first and foremost. Because by and large, one thing I did learn for sure is that I had multiple group of friends, right? Like, I'm a fairly well known guy, a fairly, well respected guy, and people like to enjoy my company. So I had one group of friends, another group of friends, another group of friends, another group of friends. I had like multiple groups of friends, and when these ones are all partied out, then there's someone's birthday here, and then when these ones all partied out, someone over here, and then these guys want to get back on the scene, and this and then that and then that. So what I was noticing is like, wait, all in all, I'm like the only one who's been going hard like the whole year, basically, who's just been getting it in. And other people are like internally, externally rotating in and out of that lifestyle and I'm just pushing it. It's just a part of who I am at some point, which is again was acceptable to an extent to me, I believe, because I was outperforming um, mm, everyone in terms of I'm a leader of multiple groups while simultaneously being I finished top two first semester, um, narrowly missing out on that first place spot, mind you, while being the leader while living this reckless lifestyle. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm a winner, bro, because I'm trying really hard, but also I've accepted these distractions in my life, and they are pulling me away from the thing. But whenever I lock in and and I give, the system gives back, and I feel like I deserve to know what it's like to live as if being number one is presumed, to live as if there is no other option and there is no other way to continue throughout my life. um, so I feel that there are a lot of people that believe in me, and there are a lot of people that have faith in me and everything that I'm doing, and it's like this half commitment, this lack of commitment is almost disrespectful to the people who believe in me, because I want to prove my belief in myself correct, and I want to prove their belief correct, so that it is known forever, internal and external, that I can do it, I can be it, I can actually um, cut everything off and laser in and focus. So back to basics, back to basics, back to doing the things that you need to do daily, continuing to execute daily, continuing to grow and expand, by those small increments daily until you get the opportunities to make those big leaps, and then you make those. But just those continuous small daily inputs to becoming exactly who we want to become is the main thing that I mean when I talk about back to basics. And so that's the main focus for the year going forward right now. And the fear is that, again, when I get around those people who find me so awesome and want to find myself in, back in those leadership positions and all those good things, the thought process is, and the reason for this is again to remind myself within those moments when I am Mr. Popular once more, and getting in those spaces and doing these things and making these moves, and people are beginning to recognize and to remember that this is, like, for them, this may be something that is an achievement. This may be something that is a really positive play, a large play, a big move. But remember that for yourself, these are the stepping stones and the vision that you have for yourself, and for your and for your organizations, for your people, for your teams, for the people that work with you, the people that believe in you, is so much bigger. So you remember that, and I'm not even hoping. I reaffirm so that I may remain steadfast when the girls do come. Because when you're pretty like me, you have to really bob and weave. I think Muhammad Ali said something like that. The number one most integral part of his training is to dodge the nightclub and dodge the girls, especially when you're pretty like me. Which is, in a way, something that you really do have to consider. Is, listen, those things will come, and the interesting thing about it, right, that people can take for granted, is these things will come and throw themselves at you furiously. These temptations will come furiously throwing themselves at you. You get to a point where you're so competent and accomplished, not to get on my own, whatever, not to ride my own meat, but you get to a point where people perceive you as being so competent and accomplished for the level that they thought you were at. So before they overrate me, they're gonna underestimate me. So they underestimate me, and then I come in and, like, boom, and they're like, whoa, who is this guy? And so they're going to think you're so competent and accomplished for the level that they thought you were going to be at, that they will furiously be like, man, bro, come through, come to this thing, I have this party, come to my house, come to this event, come to, you know, furiously, like really, really. And mind you, you've created yourself this persona of, the person that is relatable in a sense. Like you are Superman, right? And you do really freakish stuff at a very high pace, and you continue to run at that pace, which they just find incredible. But you also are a leader, which means people can come to you, people can approach you, people have conversations with you, people tell you things they don't tell other people, like that type of a thing. So they're gonna want to bring you into their world, bring you into their space, and you're gonna have to be very, very picky about which of those you go to. For example, if I'm invited out to a dinner to meet with, not even like a potential this and that, but if I know that these are really, really good people, that I just want their energy around me, and they're also on the type of wavelength that I'm on, and they're also trying to stay dedicated and stay focused and stay whatever, then those are conversations I might be interested in. If I'm going out to, I don't know, golf, network, I don't even know how to play golf, right? But if someone's like, yeah, bro, now I got some clubs, teach you golf, we can walk around, have a conversation, then that, if those are going to be environments that are going to be feeding my mind and feeding the beast that I'm trying to become, then I'm 100% up for it, if if my schedule allows me at that time. But the most important thing to me is to stay on that wavelength, stay away from the clubs, the parties, and like even the women, which was the other part I was going to mention, is when once you seem to be a certain type of dude and cut from a certain cloth, a dying breed, a rare breed, then they also quite furiously, like, yeah, I don't think you understand what I mean when I say furiously and viciously, just throw themselves at you, and you need to remain steadfast. And these are not your average women, these are not your fives or sixes, these are the daughters of, you know like the who's, right? And some of them just want to party, some of them just want to have fun, some of them just want to, and have a nice time with you. And again, it is staying away from that, staying focused on the mission, staying dedicated, and remembering that we're cutting off all the BS and all the distractions, and that this is 1 year, just 1 year. And I think it'll be very doable for myself if I just keep telling myself that it's not forever, just 1 year. Not forever, just 1 year. Now, listen, I might stop doing some of these things forever. But if I tell myself I'm stopping forever, then I'm gonna just be like, this one time and then forever. So if I say just 1 year, then I know that every day counts, and I know that every week counts, and every weekend counts, and every because I'm just trying to complete this year. I just want just one full year of dedication. That's it. You know. So that's what back to basics means for me, and hopefully, perhaps through this, listening to some of these things, you can sort of figure out what it means for you, and then get back to it. You know. Thanks for watching. I've been Sage. Legacy Africa, link in the description. If you're an entrepreneur, we got some free tools down there for you. You can slide in the DMs. We'll give you a bunch of free stuff that'll help you along your journey. If you like the video, subscribe. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing out.